End this rumor for me. Did Kugan Cassius help you start it, or was that the inspiration?
I remember one day he said to me, he goes, Rob, he goes, I'm doing some boxing fight and my camera guy ain't around. I want you to come. All you got to do is hold the camera. So I said, I don't know nothing about camera. He goes, all you do, he goes, I'll focus it and that. Yeah. You just hold it. Yeah. And then I went to that. I remember that fight. It was Tony Bellew was fighting.
Okay.
Right. And I held the camera and stuff like that. And just while I was just filming, I was just like, oh, this could work in football, you know. I can give you one.
Go on.
Without you even asking that, Itoma.
Okay, you see, he was on the list.
Oh,
Most of the time I was on the list.
Out of all of them, I was about to say, out of all the ones that I've seen, he's the one I'm looking at and thinking, next big thing. The other baffling thing for me in boxing right now, as a person who's grown up watching boxing all my life, and that is the lack of really good American fighters. And then like over here, I used to love the Nigel Benn, you know what I mean, and Eubank era, you know what I mean, when them two were going at it. Watson as well was involved in that. I loved that era.
I've been chasing this man for a while. Robbie Lyle, founder.
You got me.
I've Got You of AFTV, founder of DR Sports. You're doing so many other big bits as well. Obviously, it goes without saying, I'm one of your biggest fans. Just because of what you've done.
I'm one of your biggest fans.
Thank you, Robbie. Appreciate it. But just in terms of what you've grown and how you've grown this empire as well, when did you start AFTV? How long has it been going now?
Since 2012. So, wow, it's just a long, it doesn't seem that long, to be honest, because it's just flown past.
Yeah.
But yeah, first videos we did was in 2012, towards the end of 2012. So it was like, I think it's about November 2012.
Yeah.
Started speaking to fans outside of Arsenal, getting their opinions on games. And it's just like, since then it's grown over the years, and you know, it's just been an incredible journey. And now we've got DR Sports as well, doing big things. So yeah, it's still exciting times, still great to be involved in this space.
Do you ever watch some of your old videos back and just see, like, almost reminisce of what it was like in the beginning?
I don't really watch back. I watch sometimes. I see, like, it'd be more me see things through people posting old stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Rather than me going back and watching old stuff, because I just don't get the time to watch a lot of archive stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, every time I see things that, you know, we did in the past, you do look at it sometimes and think, wow, I mean, that looks so stuff, basic
you think
to what
so?
we're doing now. Yeah, you know, because technology, everything's moved on since then. So, you know, the cameras and everything's just so much better. But you look at some stuff sometimes, even today, funny enough, we were doing some videos today, and we were looking back at some old videos within this show we were doing. And even then I was looking thinking, wow, it looks
technology moves on so quick.
Yeah, they just let everything just, things age a lot in football, because, you know, you'll have on even a kit.
Yeah.
And that kit's age now. You
know?
True. Kit's like ancient now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's mad, isn't it? Sometimes I watch back old Sky Sports clips of football. I'm like, rah, that does look old. Yeah. And we're only talking 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I know. No.
Everything just looks old because technology, as you say, is gone.
And as I said, like, you'll see just the kits and you think, wow, I mean, even those things just look completely different or so much dated to what they look now, you know? So football moves so fast.
End this rumor for me. Did Kugan Cassius help you start it, or was that the inspiration? Kugan will ever tell me the story. We were with each other the other day.
He's definitely the inspiration.
Okay.
Right? So, like, me and Kugan go back years. We're still good friends. Yeah. But we both used to go to watch Arsenal together at Highbury. We both had season tickets, right? And I remember Kugan's the first person to get me in a box. The last game. Yeah. Ever at Highbury, he goes, Robbie, I've got 2 tickets to a box, man. You want to come along?
Okay.
I said, well, box? Never been in that before. All right, and we went to watch that last game together in a box. And then I saw him set up his IFL TV.
Yeah, I Film London at the time.
I Film London, it was called then, because then he was doing boxing, but he was doing other bits as well. Do some little, like,
I used to see him at like premieres, like school, movie premieres.
He's an Essex boy, isn't it, right? Yeah. And then I remember one day he said to me, he goes, Rob, he goes, I'm doing some boxing fight and my camera guy ain't around. I want you to come. All you got to do is hold the camera. So I said, I don't know nothing about camera. He goes, all you do, he goes, I'll focus it and that. Yeah. You just hold it. Yeah. And then I went to that. I remember that fight. It was Tony Bellew was fighting.
Okay.
Right. And I held a camera and stuff like that. And just while I was just filming, I was just like, oh, this could work in football, you know. This really
You've never done any journalist thing, never done any camera work before that?
No camera work, nothing. I was just, and I weren't doing camera work there, trust me, I was just holding it, right?
Okay.
And then I went away, like I had the idea and I went away and I put together like a little proposal, right? So this is true, you could ask him this. And I came to him hoping and praying that, because I knew he knew about filming, you know, editing and that. So I'm like, yeah, Kugan, I've got this idea, it's around Arsenal. Obviously he's an Arsenal fan thing. We can interview fans. And he was like, yeah, Robbie, it sounds like a good idea, but I'm just too busy, man. I'm too busy doing, which he was. He was really busy doing his, I was gutted because I was like, that was my hope. My hope was that he'd come on board with it and, you know, but he couldn't. And then I sort of almost was like thinking of dropping the idea. And then I just said, nah, I can't let this idea die, man. And I'm like, I ain't got a clue how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it, and just started it. So he was the inspiration behind it.
Okay, sorry, Kugan. My apologies. No, I apologize. I apologize.
Him say, well, what was the first version though? That he...
No, that exact story is how he told me.
Okay, yeah, it's true.
Literally told me that exact story, that he asked you to hold a camera, and that was your inspiration. So
100% true. Like, you know, he was, and you know, even things like what I admired about him at that time was his work rate.
Crazy.
Like phenomenal work rate, right? So I also knew from watching him that this ain't gonna be no easy thing. Like, I'll see people sometimes, they'll come up to me and go, yeah, Robbie, I'm thinking this stuff. And I'll say to them, you know, you're gonna have to do a lot of work,
yeah?
Without much reward in the beginning, right? But I knew already what that was gonna take, because I saw him doing his. Very, like, he was at everything. Yeah, Rob, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. I said, wow.
He's like incredible. Like, he's inspired so many. As like what you've done, and that's inspired so many other football fan channels. Someone asked me the other day, like, who's one of my biggest inspirations? And I said Kugan Cassius, because I used to watch him from afar, even when I started getting into boxing. And, you know, the boxers aren't lined up for you to interview. He would run and chase them and harass them. And even his style of interviewing just makes you feel so comfortable.
Yeah. And I think why he's got so much respect in the business is that he's been interviewing a lot of these boxers before they became big superstars or British champions or whatever. He's like, you know, I remember him interviewing, he told me, he said, oh, he goes, I just interviewed Anthony Joshua, but that was when Anthony Joshua was an amateur. Rob, this guy's going to be big, man. He's going to be like, yeah. And look, so I think a lot of those guys now really respect him, because like he was there from day one.
Yeah, he doesn't get you when you become world champion.
Yeah.
He'll get you before you've even boxed a pro fight.
He's, you know, sometimes there's little small hall fights and they're following your career and giving some of these fighters a chance to get their platform, be on a little platform even before they become big. So when they become big now, if there is a press conference and they look around and they see him, they're like, oh yeah, Coog, yeah, come on, let's do something. And they feel relaxed around him and they trust him.
That's crazy. Trust him. You two friends from Luton, right? You guys used to...
No. So like when I first met him as well, this is another thing, we had a little nightclub together.
Okay, yeah.
In Luton.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's from Essex. He's from Essex originally. Yeah. At that time, I wasn't even living in... I was living in London those times when we had that club, right? So we had this little club together. It didn't kind of work out either.
Hey, what else you've done has worked out. It's crazy that you
that
two friends...
You know what, funny enough, that club started off really good, man, and then we got into a few little problems with that. Yeah. And it didn't really work out. But, you know, so we go way back, man.
I find that incredible that you two, like, again, no, like, broadcasting degree, no media, nothing, started these empires. He's by far got the biggest one in boxing. You've got one of the biggest in football, and there was no experience before that. That should inspire people. It's hard work. As much as people try to, you know, set other reasons as to why people fail and don't succeed, ultimately, you just got to grind.
You got to grind. As I said, right, I used to see him, and so I knew that when I started what I was starting, I knew what it was going to take by watching him. Yeah. And to this day, he still puts the work in. Like he's still, you know.
He was in Nigeria with me a few days ago.
Oh, was he?
He was there. He was in Nigeria again, going around doing interviews.
He puts the work in, man. He puts the work in non-stop. Yeah. And he's still a good friend of mine, and we still talk. And He's still a massive Arsenal fan.
He is.
He'll ring me up and we will be moaning together or cheering together about Arsenal, you know what I mean? So, no, he's a good guy.
All right, before we talk boxing, you mentioned Arsenal there. A couple quick minutes before we get into it. You must be happy. Season's looking good so far. Top of the table. Your favourites for everything, Rob. Your favourites for the league, the Champions League.
Well, we weren't. It's funny in football, how you become favourites, because a couple of weeks ago we had no chance.
Yeah, it's mad.
Right, you know, when we lost to Liverpool, oh, no chance, oh, they're too negative, blah, blah. Then a couple of games later, then people are slating Liverpool. Now we're the favourites. It's too early.
Yeah.
It's too early to say what's going to happen. I think we've got off to a great start when you consider that, you know, the start of I was over in Singapore. We were doing like the friendlies. And when I saw the fixture list come out, I was like, oh my days, man. First game away at Man United.
Yeah, tough.
Third game away at Anfield. Got to go away at Newcastle and got Man City in your first 7 games. I'm like, that's tough. Even West Ham, we lost to West Ham last year.
Yeah, West Ham, especially under new manager.
Yeah,
new manager bounce.
So to see us like navigate those games, we only lost 1. That was a real narrow defeat against Liverpool. Really a worldie that's beat us in that game. There's nothing really in it. I think we've got off to a really good start, but you know already when it comes to winning titles, which is ultimately what every Arsenal fan wants to see, it's about sustaining that throughout a whole season.
Yeah, it's tough.
And that don't finish till May.
All right, me and you could talk football forever, but let's talk some boxing.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say you're a casual boxing fan?
Yeah. I'd say boxing probably like my second favourite after football.
Yeah.
Probably boxing's my next favourite sport. I mean, I love all sports. I'm a guy, I grew up, you know, with all sports, but I love boxing. My brother he's like a boxing nut.
Yeah, I see you've got a strand now on DR Sports talking about boxing.
He does that show, and we do little watch-alongs and things like that. But my brother loves boxing, and I grew up. My dad loved boxing, and you know I love boxing as well. I love it.
Did you ever like a favourite British fighter growing up, or someone even across the pond in America?
Well, obviously, like my ultimate hero is Muhammad Ali. Yeah, right. Always like still now, you know, what I mean, he's an inspirational. You know, person, wasn't just what he did in the ring, outside the ring, what he went through, what he stood for.
Yeah, crazy.
Unbelievable. But in boxers, I used to love Marvin Hagler.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day, man, what a fighter. I love that. My favourite era of boxing were that division there, that middleweight.
4 kings,
Him, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard,
and Roberto Duran.
And Roberto Duran. Hands of stone.
Yeah. Oh, you know you're boxing.
I know my boxing, especially that era, because like that era, those fights, man. Even sometimes I watched back one of those fights the other day, the Hearns Hagler one.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I don't think there's no fights like that now.
No, we don't get that anymore. That was like a 3-round. You know, that's so good where the loser, Hearns, didn't even get any. Normally, when you lose a big fight, you kind of lose stock.
Yeah.
There was no loss in that stock because it was such a good fight.
The bombs that Hagler took in that fight, how he took those punches, right? I can't believe it, right? But that era, and then like over here, I used to love the Nigel Benn, you know what I mean, and Eubank era, you know what I mean, when them two were going at it. Watson as well was involved in that. I loved that era. Yeah, I love my boxing, man. Even now, like, you know, the other day, the Terence Crawford fight, you know, what a fight, what a fighter he is, Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
Me and my brother were debating who would have won out of him and Sugar Ray.
That's a great debate.
We were debating that.
That's how good Crawford is, that's now even a debate.
Yeah.
Because before it was like Floyd and Sugar Ray. The fact that Crawford's done what he's done, now Crawford's in the mix with them lot.
Yeah. I think he's better. I think he was better. And again, me and my brother's arguing this. Better than Mayweather.
It's difficult to argue. It's difficult to argue. I'd love to kind of go back and forth with you, but it's difficult. Because Crawford's that special.
Yeah. He's special, man. And I think he's a fighter that's been dodged a lot over the years. And he's got every time he's got his chance, like he said in his interview afterwards, every time I got my chance, I've beaten the people that's been there. I couldn't believe, right, that he's 37.
Yeah, just turned 38. Literally just turned 38. Yeah. Looks after himself.
Yeah.
That's a guy, I remember reading about him. No drinking, bed early.
Yeah.
Like food-wise, just perfect. And I think because he's had to wait so long,
Yeah.
So he's almost had that hunger that I've got to continue fighting and look after myself because the chances are going to come, but they're going to come late.
But to do that for so long,
yeah,
it's crazy. Like I have so much admiration for boxers. I think it's the hardest sport. Yeah, I really do. Like I remember on AFTV, we did a little feature on, oh gosh, I forgot his name now, a big Arsenal fan.
What fighter, Chef Clark?
No. Lions in the Camp.
Oh, Anthony Yard.
Anthony Yard, sorry, Anthony.
He fights soon, actually. He fights
sorry,
soon.
Anthony.
No, that's all right. He'll accept your apology.
We did a little feature, went down to his gym, and he was preparing for a fight, and it's crazy, like, his schedule.
Dude.
Ridiculous. Like, how can you do that, like, year in, year out? I mean, I know they love it. They love fighting. They're fighters, they love fighting, but...
The scary thing about that schedule, Robbie, sorry to cut across you, is that there are fighters, like Anthony Yard's been good because he's made some money. Like he's made a few million in some fights.
Yeah.
There are fighters that do that schedule and have jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're waiting for that opportunity and it's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got to do that schedule and fight. And people don't see all that work, that road work, all that training, going in there sometimes 2-3 times a day, and it's all done on your own. It's not like at football where, you've got like a whole, you're running with a team, training with a team. It's all on your own with just a trainer. I have so much admiration for them. Even, I remember the first time I went with Kugan actually to that fight, and we did that belly fight. It was up in Liverpool. And afterwards, we was at like, there was like a hotel where a lot of the fighters were coming to. And this has always stuck with me because I'd seen fights, and you watch fights on TV, but you never see the aftermath of a fight. And I remember coming into that hotel where, first of all, the people who'd lost, and you saw the man all bruised up, bandage, black eye, lip bust up.
And then they're like normal people just chilling.
And then also just looking generally really miserable, most of them, because they'd lost, And then you'd have the winners coming later, totally different vibe, you know what I mean? Happy, people's round them. The losers, they're no entourage guard everywhere. No one's around them no more. The winners, entourage, everyone. And I was like, wow, this is the side of boxing you don't see. It's such a hard sport.
And I used to, when I had my YouTube channel earlier, I used to critique a lot of boxers. I didn't used to see them. So it was easy for me on my chair to kind of say, he should do better, all that. And then now I'm in the privileged position where I go backstage and see them after a defeat and the ones that have been damaged properly.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to critique them now because the punishment they take.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And you see some of them lying down on, was it gurneys, is that what they're called? And they're getting stitched up and the eyes are all messed up.
Yeah, there's fighters there. I remember there was some fighter there. I said, "You're right." The man couldn't even hear me because his ears were still ringing from the fight. And honestly, like I just feel like either that or maybe the MMA guys might come say otherwise, but they're the hardest sports. Like I can't think of a sport that is, and you're in there on your own. If you can't run. You can't even back. You know Daniel Dubois, right? You heard of Daniel Dubois? Yeah. He got a lot of stick from his eye was busted up against Joe Joyce. Listen, I was watching. I feel bad. Yeah. I watched that fight, and I remember because me and my brother will watch fights sometimes. Yeah. But he's at his house, and we'll ring each other. Typically after, that's where it's very similar to football. Yeah. And we got that conversation after each other and that. Or we ring. I rang him after the fight. I go, "Yeah, what's up with Daniel Dubois, man?" I go, "Boy, I thought this guy was good, man. Man, quit." Yeah. Right? Only to find out later that the man, like, literally could have lost his eye. Fractured his eye socket. Fractured eye socket. I felt bad. I was like, nah, I should never say that again. You know what I mean? Because actually, he did the right thing because he probably would have never been able to fight again. And look what he's gone on to achieve. And look what he's gone on to achieve, you know? Yeah. It's such a hard sport. It's such a... I have so much admiration for every boxer. I dabbled in it a little when I was a youth, man. Everyone tried, didn't they? Yeah, you go in there, you get the first couple of licks, man. I remember the first time I got hit, bang, right in my nose. I was doing sparring. I was like, Jesus. That's it. My water. Why? This thing, no. So when you see those guys doing that, like... And girls. And girls as well. Yeah. And I'm like, how can someone... still have that level of discipline and do the training and do at 38 years old? Okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That means he's been doing that since he was a little kid, probably.
Since he was like 7, 8.
That's mad. I'm just like, and how can you have that level of discipline? That's ridiculous.
Honestly, it's a different level. You mentioned sort of 70s boxing there. You mentioned sort of the UK scene in the 90s when it was free on ITV, so everyone loved it. Do you follow it now at all?
Yeah, I still follow it.
You still follow it, yeah?
Watch you know what I mean? Do the interviews and that. Yeah. No, I still love the boxing now.
Any favourite boxers around now that you watch?
I do like Terence Crawford, man.
Yeah.
Like even before that Canelo fight, I like Terence Crawford.
Fighters in the UK? Anyone?
I like. Listen, I've liked the Ben Eubanks Jr.
Because we're old enough to remember the dads.
Yeah,
stuff.
I remember the dad. So I've liked, their stuff and their fights. Who else? Ben Whittaker, right?
Interesting.
Right? I like, even though he's a Tottenham fan.
Yeah.
Right? But I've liked him and I've seen the stuff with him this week and that, but he was the last, one of the recent last fights I went to see. But Ben Whittaker, I like him. Want to see if he can see how far he can go. But
that's interesting that Ben's crossed over then, because that's the aim, right? Yeah, like the idea, I guess, for a boxer to become a superstar is that they've got to become more than just a boxing star, but a sports star. The fact that Ben suggests that he's now crossed over to become a bit of a sports star.
He's crossed over. Yeah. I'm really surprised when I look at a lot of boxers, especially now in the modern era. Some of them have grasped it, that they don't use their social media accounts and that more effectively to promote themselves.
Agreed.
Because I know how this boxing game works, right? So you get the big fights if you can sell tickets, especially when you're coming up.
Yeah.
It's about, the promoters are going to come to you, because it's a very unique sport, because it's dominated by promoters. There's no other sport, there's no promoters in football.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah, so if you're going to get noticed, right, you're a big ticket seller. So that's why sometimes you'll see some fighters, they're all okay, but they sell loads of tickets, so they'll get loads of fights. So I just don't know why sometimes I see some fighters, I'm like, why don't they use their platform more to big themselves up, to get a massive following? So that means even if you have got a fight and you're you're coming up, and a promoter comes to you and says, all right, you want to be on this show? Sell me 1,000 tickets. If you've got a big following, you can sell 1,000 tickets for your social media. I don't understand why more of them don't use it.
I hate it.
As well, you can show you behind the scenes, you can show all this and that, and then you start to build a personality and that. That's another thing that makes boxing so difficult, because other sports, you'll just be talented, and they'll be just like, yeah, right, this guy's talented, this kid, wow, did you see him play football? Let's sign him, bang, he's in, you're in this academy, you're good enough there, you're into the first team. In boxing, you can have lots of talent, a bit like what you said with Terence Crawford. But if you're not a big ticket seller, or if you're not a big personality and stuff like that, you will get overlooked over someone who's not as good as you because they sell tickets, because the sport dominated by promoters.
If I'm a boxer and I hear that and I know it, and you're right, I'm starting a YouTube channel straight away.
Yeah.
All these boxers have so many people that are just hangers-ons with them. I'm like, what, one person can't carry a camera and just film some behind the scenes stuff? You don't even have, look, I get it. As a boxer, my job's to fight. And you might not even have a personality, but surely someone in your team can get a camera, follow you go training, follow you in the fights, follow you to go and buy food. We're invested in that.
Yeah, 100%.
And they don't show that.
100%, like build a YouTube channel or build a, TikTok or Snapchat. People want to see, in this day and age, people want to see a lot about you. They want to see behind the scenes. They want to see who you are, your personality. Even if you ain't, a boxer can be big without a personality.
Yeah.
He could just be like a guy that's like a serious guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think Mike Tyson had a mega personality. I don't think he did.
It was based off being serious.
His personality is just he don't play.
Yeah.
Yeah? So that can be your personality. But, I don't know why they don't use these platforms now that we have to promote themselves more. Because once if you've got the talent and then you're out there, you're going to get on the big shows. You're going to get on the, I don't know why some fighters don't promote themselves.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Do their own thing.
They're so desperate. I feel like, especially if they're signed to Matchroom and Eddie, because Eddie's such a good promoter.
Yeah.
They're like, Eddie, you should be doing it. And I'm like, well, that's not Eddie's job anymore. I know his title's promoter, But he's now beyond that. It's up to you. You should be a self-promoter.
I think you've got to self-promote. I mean, listen, it is, again, it's a bit unfair on them because other sports, you don't have to do that. You don't have to self-promote, you know? Rory McIlroy doesn't have to self-promote. He just goes out and plays golf, you know what I mean? But boxers, I think you do because of the nature of the sport, because I can't think of another sport like that as a promoter.
No, there isn't.
You know, the only other thing is wrestling, and that's not a professional sport.
And if I'm a boxer, I look at the two biggest people in MMA and boxing that have made money, and they're self-promoters. Conor McGregor in MMA, Floyd Mayweather in boxing, self-promoters. Yeah, like, we'll do it ourselves. We don't require Dana White or whoever, Al Heyman, whatever.
It's kind of the way to do it, and you know, and even if once you have self-promoted yourself, those big promoters will come and they'll have to pay you more money to come on board with them. So I think a lot of boxers need to grasp that, you know.
If anyone's listening, get in touch. Robbie Lyle. Maybe that's something you could, who knows, right? Something to add.
It's something I've looked at because I'm just like, it is such an important part of boxing because, you know, as I said, it's the only sport I know that has a promoter that puts the fights on. All
right, when was the last time you went to a boxing match?
Was a Ben Whittaker fight.
Oh, right? Okay.
So
do you remember
I went to
which
Ben
one?
Whittaker. He fought.
Not Liam Cameron.
No, it was before that. He was another British fighter.
Another British fighter he fought. I can't remember.
Oh man!
But it was a Ben Whittaker fight.
I'm going to get myself in serious trouble here now.
In the last couple of years,
there's another guy who's a big Arsenal fan. I was actually there supporting him. Oh, wow. He was on another fight. But Ben Whittaker was fighting someone else on that night. He was fighting an Eastern European guy.
Okay.
He's at Wembley.
Okay, yeah.
And I saw him fighting. I was like, he's so flashy in that.
Yeah. So that grabbed your attention.
And then I met his dad.
That's a big boy.
His dad's a big boy. I met his dad one time at Wolves as well, at a game.
Yeah.
And I just liked it. It was so outlandish, his style. I was like, I liked it. It was kind of been looking at a lot of his fights. But it's, a lot of good British boxers, man. Yeah.
Can I put you on the spot and ask you, because these, obviously we've got the AJs, the Furies, Chisoras, you know all those people, Dillian Whyte, they're like the big dogs that are now coming to the end. All those fighters I just mentioned, they're either at the end or very, very close. And there's now a crop of fighters coming through that everyone thinks will be the next superstars. I'm going to ask you simply if you know them or not yet.
Well, I can give you one.
Go on.
Without you even asking that, Itoma.
Okay, see, he was on the list.
Okay.
Most of the time, was on the list.
Out of all of them, I was about to say, out of all the ones that I've seen, he's the one I'm looking at and thinking, next big thing.
Okay, exciting.
He looks serious, man.
He's only 20.
And when my brother said to me, he goes, Robbie, you realise he's only 20? I go, what? 20?
Yeah.
I go, what are they giving that you to eat, man? You know what I mean? 20.
But crazy.
What it is with him, I think he could go all the way, you know. He's so skillful.
Yeah, same.
I'm like...
Did you watch the Dillian Whyte fight? Did you watch it?
Yeah. I mean, I was hearing that Dillian Whyte shouldn't really have done that fight because...
that's what they say.
There was something wrong with his leg or something. That's what I heard. I don't know. But if they weren't, the way he just took apart... Listen, Dillian Whyte's probably coming towards the end of his career, but still, the way he took apart an experienced fighter like that, I was like, imagine him in a few years' time. And it's heavyweight.
We all like it heavyweight.
But the thing is in heavyweight is that when you say who knows, we haven't seen him get the big hit yet.
We're all waiting for him to get chin checked.
That's the thing.
It's awful, isn't it? Like, imagine that you're waiting for something bad to happen.
No, I don't want nothing.
No, I know what you mean. We're all like
that. I'm not waiting for nothing to bad to happen, but I just think...
We need to see him get cracked once.
I just think in heavyweight, it's the equaliser, isn't it? Like, you just have a guy that's just cut. Like, I remember back in the day that fighter Ernie Shavers.
Yeah, you do know your boxing.
No, I know my boxing.
You know your boxing. Why did I get him on? I thought this was a casual boxing conversation. He knows it all.
I guess I'm casual. I am casual.
You're just above casual. Yeah.
But I remember especially them old school boxers. I remember, but I remember him. He was a very limited boxer.
Yep.
But if he hit you,
it's done.
It's over.
And that's the thing with Moses. You're right. He could be fighting someone that's limited. As soon as they crack you.
Yeah.
Do you know? Have you heard of a fighter called Fabio Wardley?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, from Ipswich.
From Ipswich. Yeah.
So I saw that last fight he had. You guys getting beaten up.
And then what happened?
Bang, it's over. And that's why we love heavyweights, right? Because you've always got that jeopardy in it. But yeah, Wardley, even the fight that he had the one before that, when he fought the other British guy,
Fraser Clark.
I was thinking Fraser Clark would win that.
Yeah.
And then again, he just hit him. And that was one of the worst.
I was ringside for it, and I went in the ring to have a look to interview Fabio, but I thought I've got to look at Fraser first just to make sure he's okay. The dent in his head.
That was crazy.
And that's when I was like, okay, I'm never critiquing a boxer again. I'm never saying a bad word again.
These guys are so big.
They're massive.
They're huge,
They're 19, 20 stone hitting each other.
I mean, some of these, man, I remember Lennox Lewis one time, I shook his hand, man. Like, he's like twice, I've got big hands. It was like twice the size of my hands.
Yeah.
I was like looking at these man, I can imagine. When I met AJ, I was like, look at this. I didn't know he was as big as he was.
Big dudes.
Imagine a man like that hit you full force, man. He's like a man sitting you with a baseball bat.
It is like that
with a jab.
Boys. It's like that with those boys.
Like, yeah. No, it's serious.
I campaign as a big boxing fan. I'm more like, we need to see AJ Fury. But I don't know if I don't know if you as a casual boxing fan care as much as me. I'm like, you wanted to, you don't care anymore.
I wanted to see it now. It's two fighters that are kind of coming towards the end. I do like the fact that the Turkey Al Sheikh, the guy from Saudi's got involved, and now we're seeing these proper fights like, you know, the one we saw the other day with Crawford and Canelo. I don't think that would ever have happened had it not been for Turkey Al Sheikh. And now he's making these guys fight each other, and I think it's been so good for the sport, because one of the things that did used to frustrate me is the way fighters just dodge each other. You know, Fury, AJ, should have happened years ago, man.
10
that
years
was the
in
biggest
the making.
fight.
10 years we've been waiting.
And if we get it now, we're not going to get
It's not the same, is it? It's like the Amir Khan Brook thing. Don't get me wrong, they're not that deteriorated, of course. Like, they're still very good, but they're not what they used to be.
If it happens, I'm still going to pay to watch it. I'm still going to, well, actually, they're saying you ain't got to pay now, so that's a good thing. But I'll still watch it if it happens, right? But the level of excitement that I would have had if that would have happened, say, 4 or 5 years ago, I mean, it's not going to be the same, because both fighters... And then as the other thing as well I find sometimes with some of the fighters is the frequency of what they fight now. You know, you have some fighters like once a year and things like that, and you want to see more of them. You want to see that, listen, we've just been describing how it's such a hurt game, so
No, but you're right, though. Like, if you are trying to sell yourself, how are you supposed to sell something what people see once a year?
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have... So imagine, okay, if you did have a social media presence and we only see you in the ring once a year, but your social media presence means that you're still always viable and visible, then fair. But these fighters fight once a year, then vanish for 11 months, and then expect people to buy tickets and say, well, we only see you once a year. We don't even know what you've been up to.
Yeah, it's been baffling. The other baffling thing for me in boxing right now, as a person who's grown up watching boxing all my life, and that is the lack of really good American fighters.
Yeah.
Because they used to run it.
They used to
run boxing, man. Like, all the big fights in America, all the best fighters. You know, we had some good British ones, you know.
But you had to go over there and prove yourself. Yeah.
And now?
No, there's a bunch of like 5, 6 that I think we all expected to be kind of the top of the tree already, like Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Javonte Davis. We expected their growth to be a lot quicker. Yeah. And again, once a year fighters. Maybe once every 7, 8 months fighters. Ain't enough.
Javonte is fighting YouTubers now. And
he's fighting Jake Paul.
Come on, man. Like, I mean...
Hey, that'll do big numbers in your watch along.
It will do big numbers. It will. But
it'll do big numbers.
I have to admit, I love proper boxing, man. And to me, that's... He shouldn't be fighting...
No, he shouldn't.
Jake Paul, man. You know
the money's too big.
I hear that, but still... I mean, listen, if I was in his shoes, I'd take it as well. Yeah. He has to win that. I think it'd be embarrassing if he loses that. I mean, some of the other fighters that Jake Paul's fought and that, they're guys on the way out and that. But he's still, all right, I know he's the weight.
But he's still a professional fighter that's been doing it.
Yeah, you know, like...
For 7 years, since he was 7 compared to someone
If he don't win that
years.
fight, I'm going to think that's very embarrassing for him.
Yeah,
you know, even with the weight size difference.
Agreed. No, 100% agree. Agree. Have you heard, again, this is not to kind of sort of trip you up on you, but this is, again, the people that everyone thinks will be the next superstars. Have you heard of a fighter called Ade Gman?
Yes.
Okay, this is good. No, this is a good test. This is good.
He's good. He's
good. Yeah.
Although there was a fight I saw him in.
Yeah.
He lost that fight in my books.
Interesting.
Right?
I need to go watch
That's
that.
the one. That was the one. Actually, am I getting it right?
You might be. No, maybe not. Because he's looked good in every single fight, pretty much.
There wasn't he the one who had the fight in Saudi where that was close.
Ade Gman fight in Saudi. No.
Oh, maybe.
Are you talking about Hamza Shiraz?
Hamza Shiraz. Sorry, no, yeah, Ade Gman. Yeah, so Ade Gman, I like him. Yeah. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Really skillful as well. Really thing. Shiraz I like as well.
Shiraz I love.
But I felt that fight, the one over in Saudi.
Against Carlos Adames.
Yeah. That one to me, he didn't win that.
He probably lost. It was a draw officially, but
that's my other thing with boxing sometimes. Right? Sometimes some decisions that I see sometimes in boxing, I'm like, yo, these man, they should come and work in the VAR in football. Because they'll be at home. Because I'll be like, how did that end up in a draw? Or how's that? Like, I've seen fights where, where I'm like, I'm
boxing.
questioning that fight, man. There's one I saw the other day, was Katie Taylor.
Yeah, Katie Taylor.
It was last year. There's one Katie Taylor. She's a brilliant boxer, but there was one fight I saw her in, and I was like,
yeah.
Nah, man, you got outworked in that fight. Was that decision because
you're the money person?
That's the only thing that's wrong with boxing, I feel, because it's a promoter-led sport. It's open to those things, whether there's
it's open to those thoughts. Because there is no world governing body. It literally is, whoever's the big dog is the big dog.
Yeah, all right, I'd say that. I don't want to get sued. It's open to those thoughts.
Yeah,
I like the way you said that.
Yeah, no.
But sometimes that can be a frustrating, it's got less and less recently.
Yeah.
But sometimes that can be a frustrating thing when you watch a fight sometimes and you can see someone that's clearly won, but they're fighting in the backyard of especially certain countries.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, listen, unless you knock that person out, you ain't winning.
You ain't winning. They always say that about Germany.
They used to say that in Germany.
Germany. You go to Germany, unless you knock that guy out, forget about it. There ain't no chance of you coming away.
Knock out that fighter, man. No chance.
Absolutely no chance. All right, so this is good because you know Hamza.
Ade Gman, great.
You know Ade Gman.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know Fabio. You know Moses because these are the next stars.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Dalton Smith?
I have heard of him, but I've not really seen his fights.
That's the guy that Matchroom need to push, and he's a guy that fights. He's from Sheffield. So the idea of him is that he's going to be the next. You know, the Sheffield have had like obviously Prince Nassim Hamed, Johnny Nelson, Kell Brook.
Yeah,
they've not had someone since then, and he's supposed to be the next guy.
Okay,
so they're trying to fight him and Ade Gman. They're trying to make that as a super fight.
Okay, they've had that big. Is he from is it Brendan Ingle?
Brendan Ingle.
Yeah, he's from their gym.
He's not from that gym.
Okay.
But that's the Sheffield gym. Brendan Ingle's the Sheffield gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've had great fighters over the years from Sheffield, haven't they?
Yeah, they've had some incredible ones.
Yeah.
There's some incredible ones.
I'd keep an eye out for him then. I've not really seen much
Dalton
of this.
Smith.
Dalton Smith.
He's going to fight for a world title in January.
What weight's that?
He is super lightweight, so 140 pounds. Yeah. So it's a good weight class because he's big. He'll go up to welterweight, which is the glamour division.
Yeah.
He'll go up to welterweight. What do you make of Conor Ben?
I like him, man.
Yeah.
I like him, but still want to see him tested a bit. I really enjoyed that last fight with Ben.
Incredible.
And I thought,
against Eubank.
Against Eubank, sorry. And I thought he'd done really, really well. Because I actually didn't think he'd... I thought Eubank was going to win it quite easily. Just because the more experienced guy, the length of time that Ben hadn't fought and stuff like that. I was quite surprised at how well he did.
Yeah.
And ultimately, in the end, sort of bigger guy won it. The rematch is going to be interesting, I think.
It's going to be really good.
Because I feel now, I see this happen a lot of times in boxing where you've got a fighter that he's now realised that I can hurt that fighter. I've felt the other fighter's power. Next time, I know what's coming. I think he might even do better in the next one. I think he's got a shout to win it.
And Eubank's older. Eubank's not a young man anymore, whereas Ben's a young man.
Older.
Yeah.
So I like him, but I want to see these. I get these fights, but you do want to see Ben. Can you kick on to try and win world title.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to see this again. I get it, right? It's a lot of money. I understand why you got to do it. So much money.
And people are interested in the fight.
It's going to sell out Tottenham again.
Yeah.
Obviously, you won't go because of where it is.
I'd go there for a boxing fight.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
I wouldn't go there on the back of a defeat. I remember I went to their stadium to watch an American football game.
Yeah.
And I got invited to there. And I said, listen, we were actually playing Spurs the day before the game.
Nah.
Right? And I said to the guys, I said, listen,
if we lose, I can't come.
I said, if we lose, I ain't coming.
Yeah.
If we draw, I'll let you know. If we win, I'll be there. We won, so I came. And it was glorious. All of this staff go, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? I was going to come and watch American football. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's up?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? And by the way, what was the score yesterday? You know what I mean? That was good. But
it's a magnificent stadium for boxing. I'm surprised that Arsenal Stadium's not been used for like stuff like that. Big time.
Me too. Like, they've really
wonderful stadium.
Yeah, they've done well with cornering at boxing and all those different
NFL,
sporting
music events, everything.
Yeah, they've done well with that. I think Arsenal, maybe that's why they're looking to, talk this week of them
back to Wembley for a little while.
Yeah, and expanding the stadium and stuff like that. Maybe they're sort of trying to chase that market as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Ben. Yeah, I like him, man.
Same,
I like him.
Same. I love the fact that he's got, for new fans, he's got the energy where new young kids will gravitate to him.
He's like his dad, right?
Exactly
very much like his dad in that he's like, it's all action, come forward, no retreat, no surrender type fighter. And people like those type of fighters.
Is Ben your favourite British fighter of all time, Nigel?
Oh, so you'll see, you'll be able to gauge the age thing here now and realise that I do know my boxing, especially back in the day. I used to like Lloyd Hunnigan.
Oh, you've gone back. Yeah, you've gone back. Yeah, I thought you were 30.
I'm a bit older than 30, man. But Lloyd Hunnigan, I used to like, man, back in the day. Like, he was a great fighter. He was a great fighter. And,
almost forgotten by some boxing fans. Yeah.
That's the other
it's almost like boxing, for some people, started in the 90s. There were fighters before then.
No, there were some very, very good British fighters. I thought it was harder then to win a title, though. Yeah. Because you had some great fighters over in the States.
Good luck winning it.
And you had to go there. Yeah. You had to go to the States to win those titles.
As he did when Lloyd Hunnigan beat Don Curry.
Don Curry,
who was like incredible.
Yeah. And when he beat him, he was like, Don Curry was by far a favourite. But you had to go to America to win those fights, which, again, a lot of times you better win by a clear margin or you might not get them decisions. I think now it's a little bit easier because a lot of the British guys are bigger than the American fighters. So those fights have to, them world title fights will happen here. So...
No, you're right. I do think it's easier to win a world title now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy.
No, easier than it was in the 80s.
Because
and 90s.
a lot of the British guys, they got the pull and they can do the fight here. They can do it at Tottenham. They can do it at Wembley. They can do it in Liverpool, Manchester, all these places. Bring the fighters here. Yeah. It's a big advantage when you're doing that.
As opposed to going to, where was it?
You got to go Vegas and all those places.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Good luck going over there.
And those places are intimidating places. You got all the Americans there. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very intimidating place to go and fight and win. Yeah. So I've seen fighters in the past say even going in the gyms there to work out and that people... Americans are ready, they're giving it to you.
As soon as they hear the accent, they're thinking you're not ready for this. Yeah. But you're right. I think because of a few British fighters over the years, I feel like we finally now, the Brits have got respect from the Americans. So when you go over there, just know you're a fighter. It's not a joke.
They've earned it.
Is boxing the second biggest sport in this country, do you think? Is it rugby? Is it cricket?
No, I think it probably is boxing. Yeah, I'd say boxing because to me...
So for you, it's a healthy sport right now. It's
a healthy sport. I think it is because look at the crowds it pulls.
Yeah.
Look at the interest that, when there's a big fight on.
Nothing beats it, really.
The only thing that can beat a big fight is football in this country.
And it's a big football match.
And it's got to be a big game.
You're not talking Burnley Palace. You know what I mean? It has to be a big game.
No, it has to be like, I don't know of anything that generates interest.
Yeah.
Because how I gauge interest as well is not just the actual event. It's about the talking and all that.
The noise around it.
The noise that goes on around the event. So football, we know there's loads of noise. You know, if there's a big game like after the international break, you got Man United, Liverpool, there'll be talk all the way up to that. You'll have the game and there'll be talk for days after. The only other sport that does that is boxing in this country. Rugby don't do that. Cricket don't do that.
No chance.
You know, it's boxing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, you're right.
The build up to a big boxing fight.
Because the build up's like 2 months out.
Yeah,
it goes and goes, and then you're right. A week after, we're still talking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
2 weeks after, you're right. So it's one big boxing event, could be 4 months.
Yeah.
That's why, could you imagine, and we'll end on this, but could you imagine Fury AJ?
That'd be massive.
Like even now,
it's a massive fight.
It'll be massive.
Even now, it's a massive fight, and you know it would be the result of that fight will be on the front page. There'll be something on the front page the next day. The only other sport that does that in this country is football, or unless there's like World Cup in rugby or World Cup in cricket, and we'd have to get there as Britain or England to get there to apart from that, boxing's the only sport apart from football I see that you could, you'd have a big venue packed out with people to go and, people go to the pub to watch that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
They will turn up at a big venue like, say, a box park or something like that to watch that fight.
It's crazy.
Or boxing is the only sport where people will go in some crazy hours of the morning or something to wake up and watch. So, it's after football, for me, it's the next biggest sport in this country. It is driven by what the fight's going to be, but I think it's the next biggest, I hear people, they'll try and say, what about a Ryder Cup? And I'm sorry, not as big as a...
Especially like boxing can be like every other week there could be a big one. Yeah. Especially now the Saudi events. Before, maybe not so. Before it was like once every 4 or 5 months. Now it feels like there's a big thing every other week.
Yeah.
Like you spoke about Yard earlier. Yard's fighting in 5 weeks in Saudi in a big one. There's always a big event now.
I'd love to see him win a title, man, because...
You should get out to Saudi.
Yeah, I've been to Saudi. I went to Saudi more with football, but I would love to go to one of them because I keep saying to Kugan, I'm going to come over and one of them, but like it clashes. It always seems to clash with a game or was a big game or something. But
can't miss your Arsenal.
I'd love to, because I've been to Saudi and I really enjoyed it. I liked it. You know what I mean? I think. What they're building down there.
I'll speak to Turkey for you and see what I can do.
Yeah, you got the links, man.
Speak to Turkey. I'll call His Excellency and see what I can do for you.
Your Excellency, right? I would like to come to a fight, right? We big it up on the chat. You probably don't need it all everything there.
No, it all helps.
But no, it's incredible what they've been doing there, though. It's incredible. The atmosphere looks a little different sometimes. I know, I've been over to the Middle East a lot, and I know people are a little bit more reserved.
That's what it is. I think that's what it is, and I think I'm happy you said that because everyone critiques it, and I'm like, it's just a different type of people.
It's a different type of people.
They're not drunk up. They're not noisy like that. It's like when I've been to fights in Asia, and the Japanese barely. That's it. This is how they are.
The culture's different.
The culture's different, and that's what the culture's like as well.
Culture's different. It's like even Middle East when you go there, it's very respectful culture. I respect they're enjoying the fight just the same.
That's it.
But their things a bit more laid back. Yeah. There's whereas over here we're like
crazy.
God, get
all the swear words in the world.
It's different.
That's
right?
what it is.
I remember some friends of mine. They came over from Qatar, and I took them to a game, and they wanted to. They didn't want to listen. They could have afforded to be in a box or whatever, right? But they just wanted to be amongst the regular fans, and I was a little bit worried because I'm like, hey, these people are quite, even I know they're quite religious guys as well.
Yeah.
But when all the swearing and all that, they were loving it, man. They were looking around and they were going, listen, look at it. Right? It was like that was an event within the event for them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can see their culture's a lot different to ours when it comes to, but they're still enjoying it. And, the proof is in the pudding. They keep doing the fights down there.
They keep doing the fights, they keep paying the fighters, and that's the most important thing. Robbie, appreciate it, my man.
No, it's been a pleasure, man.
I feel like you've cheated my show because you're not really a casual.
I still think. Listen, I'm not.
Nah.
I'm a lover.
From time you mentioned Lloyd Hannigan and the Four Kings in the 70s, you've passed the casual box.
I love boxing. I love boxing. But I'd still say because if you're serious, you're at loads of fights.
Okay, yeah.
You're, you can give the rankings on it. That'd be my brother.
Yeah.
He'd be able to say he's ranked this number, that thing. You know what I mean? Whereas me, I'm kind of like, it's a good fight on TV, I'm going to watch it. So I do know the names, but I still think I'm quite a casual. I don't know. I think I'm quite a casual.
I feel like you're super casual.
But I know the back in the day fights, because I used to watch those hard, man. I was probably more into it then. I'm still into it now, but probably, I don't know, I guess those days probably there was a bit lesser fights as well. So it was easier to remember.
Yeah. And they're all on TV.
And they were all
so you didn't have
TV.
to search for them. You could see it on the schedule. It's there, 9 p.m, ITV or in America. So you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you've kind of got to search and find it all elsewhere. Robs, appreciate it, my man.
No, thank you.